publisher of Blind Books, and he's going to say a few kind words. It's a wonderful event that we're celebrating today, the publication of Pacific Avenue by Glenn.
Thanks, Rita. And one small correction, co-publisher of Blind Books with Glenn Lowry. Glenn and I got into this publishing enterprise a few years ago, and one of the things that I wanted to do from the beginning was publish a book by Glenn Lowry. And amazingly enough, he had a manuscript that he's been working on and off for years, but you know, that's how poetry works. You keep at it, and it comes and goes, and eventually you get a manuscript, and a publisher says, that looks good to me, maybe we'll publish that. But one of the great privileges of being a publisher is that you get to work with writers that you really find some sympathy with, and who, you know, just becomes one of those things where they like to be edited. Amazing as this seems, not all writers like to be edited, but some do, and I would say that Glenn is one of, well, we click. He may not like to be edited by other people. He and I managed to work out some things about Pacific Avenue, and I think we've come up with a really nice book. I'm not going to take very much credit for it, a little bit, but I do take credit for the blurb on the back, which I like to read for you. So, the language of Pacific Avenue, sightings, soundings, and surveys of what is constructed along the lines that make the city and between the lines of the poem is a peninsula, at once covered with trees and cleared of those same trees. This unnamed city, let's call it Vancouver, why not? Becomes a plantation, at once industrial but also social. Lay down your tools, pick up this book, and build this city in your mind, being careful to include plant fiber, genetic strands, animal habits, and of course, etc. Please welcome Glenn Lowry.
Right over here. Before I start, there's a couple of people that haven't found chairs. I think there's a chair here. There's one there, one there. Get comfortable because I'm going to read for about 3 hours, I think.
Oh, nice. I'll get him in his picture.
Actually, how long do you want me to read for?
Hey, Mark. Nice to see you.
Okay, that's what I was planning.
How are you doing?
Well, thank you, Michael, for that kind introduction. I do like to be edited by some people, and Michael is one of those people. Actually, I like to be edited. I think more people should be edited. That's one of the issues in poetry publication in particular, is that things go to print very quickly sometimes, and they don't get lived with and walked on and treated with the kind of love and respect that they probably should. Also, thank you to Rita for opening this up and inviting me to launch Pacific Avenue here in Vancouver. It's a great honor, and it's also a lot of fun to be on this side of the OnEdge podium for a change. I have spent some time there introducing people, and so it's a real pleasure. It seems like a natural place to be doing this. And it's nice to see so many friends, colleagues, mentors, other poets, students, so I'm really touched. I should also mention this book, this actual material object, the hardcover version of Pacific Avenue, was published through CCAC, Center for Innovation in Arts and Culture in Canada. I have to read the actual name. CCAC is a research center, the Center in Innovation in Culture and the Arts in Canada, based in Kamloops and directed by Ashok Mathur, who was faculty here for quite a while. When this was going to press, Ashok said, I want to do a hardcover version of that, and we talked about how we would do it, and he wanted it to be more like an artist book, as he said. So one of the pleasures of this book is that there are no words on the cover, that the dust jacket is meant to be thrown away, if you like, or used as a poster. It's a true dust jacket. It's protecting what's underneath it. Also, with the help of Michael and Ashok, I was allowed to get images in the book, which was important to me, because these poems come out of probably about a 10-year process of thinking through photography. And when I say thinking through photography, I mean thinking through making images and spending late nights in the darkroom watching the death masks of my friends and family appear before me. So I needed some images. The images we decided on were none of the images that I had in mind when I wrote this book. You can kind of see it here. That's feet walking. And so there's a series of serial photographs that run through this book that were taken in about 25 seconds one night. So thanks to Ashok for the help with that, and to Michael and to others for working on this manuscript. I feel like because this is at Emily Carr, I should say a little bit more about the context, but I don't want to. I'll start with an epigraph from Walter Benjamin, because Joy James and I were teaching Walter Benjamin, reading him with our grad students today. Not to find one's way around a city does not mean much, but to lose one's way in a city as one loses one's way in a forest requires some schooling. Walter Benjamin, Berlin childhood, around 1900. Taken. Trembling aspens, paper birch like weeds line up syntax of fence, clear-cut sentence, pathetic reforestation drummed up, some easterly farce. If the poet cuts himself climbing up, who hears down a logging road? Who hears which forest arboreal reel the tune, lanes, lines of shipping, traffic, these patterns of migration, excursion, economically motivating grade 11 history, no socials. Pears in a box, $25 a delivery, flogging promise of quince, legumes, other varieties of ground control, crop rotation. Morning poet contemplating walking, the dog holidays elsewhere, Halliburton or Haileybury, the names of trees, fast techne's progress, battle hymns to hapless cannons, balls and dead soldiers, mute over favorite stories. Sweat heading another pillow, words dry the tongue, plunking down pear tree poems, writing table pickled with color reversals, technicolor admission, alternating purpose, porpoise, perhaps, might rather. With you, it's longhand, I, and, G, spreads out, unpacks sentences, strive to striate geographies, this traipsing through, celebrations, S-O-L-O, lost lines, a nest, morning poet, erstwhile photographer, stoops to write, perfect pairs, the scent of a dog, touching history's personals, stories not, but also taken.